so what we've got happening here now is this roof that we've just put in, it extended in a rectangular plan projection, but we've also got this other roof that's sitting over the top of the office, and this arched roof needs to be cut back so that it doesn't overlap that office roof. So to do that, I think we'll select the roof, okay, and we'll wait for a context sensitive menu, and we'll click on the vertical opening, and I'll just use my pick line tools to pick that line, that line, that line, and that line, and then trim to corner. So I'm going to cut as if I'm cutting an opening out of this roof in that shape. I'll just go back to my view menu at the moment here and turn my thin lines off so you get a better idea of what I'm doing. So I'm cutting that area out of the roof. I can then click back on the menu and finish the roof. So my arched roof now, if I hover over it, you can see the shape it's taking on. Zoom in this area, that's the shape it's taking on, and then there's the other roof, the shape it's taking on. So they're both sort of, joining properly. There'll be a box gutter in along here. Let's go and have a look at it in 3D view. Okay, so just go back to mousing and site. Now show mouse is not on. So I'm hovering over, you can see the shape of that roof there. Now I'm hovering over this one, you can see the shape of that roof there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a couple of glass curtain walls. Okay, so the glass curtain walls, I'll put in, say, some down on this side, and I'll do that. I'll have to go to mousing and site and show mass, and we'll have to set up a glass curtain wall to do the job first, I think. So first thing we'll need to do, go to the home menu, go to the mousing and site menu, model by face wall, don't use the curtain system, use a wall, and drop down the type selector and scroll down. We'll just use curtain wall 1. Now I'm just going to place one in there at the moment. It's probably not going to work exactly the way I want it to, so that particular curtain wall there has gone in. I'll just uncheck show mask now. Actually, it looks like it has worked alright for me. No, it hasn't. It's made a very big, thick pane of glass. So I'm just going to go back to mousing and site and uncheck show mask. I'll go back to place wall. Now we're all alright with that, so we can escape out of everything. And we've got this glass curtain wall placed in, but it's a very thick glass curtain wall. So what I want to do for that, just to fix it up, this thick plane of glass looks like it's about 100mm thick at the moment. You'll find that if we go to our project browser, if you open up families, open up the plus sign next to families, open up curtain panels, and open up the plus sign next to system panel, click on glazed, then right click and go to properties. Now change the offset to, I think, something like 50mm would be appropriate, and also change the thickness of the glass to 6mm. Click OK to that, and I don't know if you noticed in the drawing editor that all of a sudden the glass thickness changed to a more realistic thickness. Okay, so that's a glass curtain wall gone in. The next thing that I'll do now is I'll place some what Revit calls a mullion, but in this particular case horizontal members I would call transom, unless it was a sill or a head, and members in the middle would be a transom. But Revit calls them all mullions, whether they're vertical or whether they're horizontal. On the home menu, I think it is, you have to first of all put a curtain grid in, and I'm going to come and just, if you select somewhere on the vertical edge of the wall and click, and you've placed a grid in place, so then click on top of the temporary dimension that popped up, and I think something like 1500 in would be appropriate. So I'm going to leave mine set at 1500 to centre. If yours popped up at something different, you can edit that text to 1500. Now, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to hover over the bottom edge of the curtain panel that I've created, and I'm going to press tab until I pick up just the curtain panel. The curtain wall is made up of the total wall and then each individual panel. Now this lower panel I want here, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to drop down and change the element type, and I want that to be an empty system panel. So under empty system panel, click on empty and then click out in space to deselect. So the curtain wall now has got glass on top and it's empty down below. So the next thing you can do then is you can start putting in more curtain grids, and I would divide this window up into thirds. So if you hover at a point where you think is around about third, wait for the pop-up to show, and if the pop-up doesn't show, cast your eye to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and at the moment mine's reading the 2/3 point of the curtain panel. So I'm going to click there, and then I've got the rest left over. If I go to the midpoint of that, I will then have divided my curtain panel into 3 equal spaces. After you've created your curtain panels, and I'll just go back to mousing and site, that's right, go back to home. After you've created your certain curtain panels, you can put mullions in place. So I'll click on the mullion, change the mullion type. I'll just have a look at the mullion properties actually, see what's in this. Edit type. Okay, the mullions are 25 either side of the centre line, so that would be 50 with a thickness of 150. So that's fine, that's exactly what we want to use. So I'll click on this edge, that mullion, and that one, and also the bottom sill, and the transom, and the top head. Just orbiting, so I can see it all. I head along something like that. Okay. So we're getting this curtain wall set up in place. Just pan that across now. Now what I'd like to do now is I'd like to insert some louvers in the bottom section of those windows. So I'm just going to stop the video at this point to let you get that window, that glass curtain wall set up. I'll get ready for the louvers to come in.